Becoming fashion icons on the way to class, getting an emergency divorce in the middle of a pandemic, and getting the first call about Heath Ledger's accidental overdose. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen rose to stardom during the 90s, but nowadays they find themselves comfortably out of the spotlight. In the years since they were pop culture darlings for their on-screen performances, you may have seen the Olsen twins make headlines, but rarely for acting. In fact, outside of news about their personal lives, it's more likely you've seen the twins pop up in reports about the world of fashion. But why the career shift? In 1993, the twins' manager at the time, Robert Thorne, formed Dual Star Entertainment Group. As an umbrella corporation, it oversaw all of the Olsen twins' non-Full House revenue streams, including music albums, numerous direct-to-video movies, toys, dolls, cosmetics, fragrances, books, and other items bearing their names and likenesses. Dual Star, with the child stars at the forefront as much as possible, is credited with recognizing and marketing to a previously ignored demographic: kids between the ages of 8 and 12, or tweens. A decade after its launch, the Olsen's company brought in annual revenues of more than $1 billion, thanks in large part to a wildly popular clothing line for girls sold at Walmart. In 2004, while the Olsens were first-year students at New York University and had just turned 18, they fully took over Dual Star, buying out the share of founder and CEO Thorne. All the merchandise from Dual Star had helped make the Olsens very rich. At the time, they became the chief owners of their company. Each had a net worth of around $137 million and ranked on Forbes' list of the highest-earning celebrities. In the mid-2000s, one of the most popular and widely seen styles in women's fashion was known by a variety of names, some of them derisive. Hobo, boho, or bohemian, bag lady chic, and ashcan chic are but a few of the labels for a way of dressing perpetuated in large part by Mary-Kate. In 2004, she began attending classes at New York University and was hounded by photographers who captured images of the former child star wearing wide-brimmed hats, gigantic sunglasses, full-length skirts, and oversized cardigan sweaters.
You know, we were just very stressed. We were just like any other student trying to get in.
Will you be able to afford to live off campus?
Olsen's autumnal looks were widely imitated, as were her choices the following spring. Both her and Ashley earned praise from the fashion media. As Ruth Laferla wrote for the New York Times in 2005, Ms. Olsen is a fashion pauvre, and so is her equally funky twin, Ashley. The twins are trendsetters for the latest hipster look. After allowing their names to grace a line of Walmart children's clothing when they were just kids themselves, Mary-Kate and Ashley became fashion designers and clothing brand owners many times over in adulthood. In 2006, inspired by Ashley's dissatisfaction with well-made basics made by other lines and a desire to produce an ideal simple white tee, the Olsen twins created the Row.
The Row started as kind of a little side project for Mary-Kate and I, and it started with a t-shirt.
It quickly established itself as a fashion house associated with simple, high-quality, non-flashy garments and accessories appealing to women and men. To that end, Ashley admitted that the company kept quiet about its famous founders, telling ID Magazine, "We didn't want to be in front of it. We didn't necessarily even want to let people know it was us. It was really about the product, to the point where we were like, who could we get to front this so that we don't have to?" A year after launching the Row, the Olsens created a more budget-conscious but still purportedly luxurious offshoot called Elizabeth and James, named for the twins' siblings. Other Olsen-operated fashion lines include Olsen Boy and Stylement. After they assumed control of their businesses in 2004, one of the first steps the twins made as the new heads of a fashion line was to take a stand against the low-cost overseas sweatshop labor employed by so many other fashion lines. The National Labor Committee, along with a coalition of students from New York University, where the Olsens were enrolled at the time, urged the siblings to publicly come out against sweatshops. After 7 months of the siblings' company failing to publicly identify the factories in Bangladesh where Mary-Kate and Ashley clothes were made, the Olsens added their names to a petition asking Walmart and its factories to promise maternity leave and other benefits to its female employees. Afterwards, the National Labor Committee said in a statement, "The Olsen twins have done the right thing." In 2008, Mary-Kate and Ashley authored Influence, a large-format, coffee table-style book full of photos and illustrations centered on those the Olsens deemed icons in fashion. The first published work for both Olsen twins, Influence combined descriptive profiles of people like Dion von Furstenberg and John Galliano with interviews with models and designers. They aimed to document art with what they hoped was a piece of art itself. As Ashley told the New York Times, "I'd like to think that this book is inspiring people to read about or focus on other things than just the oversaturated, scandal-driving media." Covering the history of clothing, shoes, and jewelry, the Olsens focused on interviewing people they knew from their fashion days and filled out the nearly 300-page book with dozens of model-type spreads featuring Mary-Kate and Ashley themselves. In 2007 and 2008, Mary-Kate had a brief relationship with Heath Ledger, and their time together coincided with the end of the actor's life. As someone close to the couple told People, Mary-Kate and Heath were casually dating for 3 months before Heath's death. They were hooking up, but neither were particularly interested in making it exclusive. Ledger was discovered dead in a New York City apartment on January 22, 2008 by masseuse Diana Wallison. Before dialing 911 for emergency assistance, Wallison first called Olsen, who was programmed as a contact in Ledger's phone.
Apparently, Mary-Kate tells the masseuse she didn't say she was going to call 911 for. She said, "I'm sending over a security guard."
After 3 calls with Olsen, Wallison finally called paramedics who pronounced Ledger dead. According to his autopsy report, Heath Ledger died from an overdose of prescription sleeping aids, anti-anxiety meds, and painkillers. Authorities attempted to determine how the actor came into the possession of the drugs that led to his death, and the investigation led to Olsen. Her lawyer released a statement claiming that their client didn't have anything to do with the found drugs, and Olsen didn't divulge any information to DEA agents because she wasn't promised legal immunity. Years after Ledger's tragic passing, Mary-Kate quietly debuted a romantic relationship in 2012 when she began to show up at high society events in New York City with Olivier Sarkozy in tow. A major player in the French banking industry who is 17 years older than Olsen, the couple hit it off at a party and got married in 2015. Only occasionally seen out and about, the pair mostly hit hotspots in New York City late at night and hung around their home in the Hamptons because they wouldn't be harassed by photographers. 5 years after the wedding, Olsen and Sarkozy's marriage was over. In May 2020, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic leading New York City's court system to hear only urgent separation cases, Olsen filed for an emergency divorce. Sarkozy allegedly nullified a lease on the couple's apartment without telling his estranged wife, which would have forced the former actor to vacate during a period in which shelter-in-place and lockdown laws were in effect. In order to stay housed, Olsen had to petition for the emergency divorce. After later decamping to the Hamptons for the duration of pandemic lockdowns, Olsen moved back to Manhattan's Upper East Side and started dating again in late 2020. Paired professionally with her twin sister almost from birth in acting and then fashion, Ashley found a personal life partner in Louis Eisner. Set up by mutual friends, the couple was first seen together at the 2017 Gala in the Garden at the Hammer Museum in Los Angeles. They made it publicly official when they showed up on a red carpet together at a charity event in Beverly Hills in 2021. Eisner is a visual artist and member of the Stillhouse Group School. He was raised in Santa Monica, California by a photographer mother and an entertainment industry executive father. The extremely private pair reportedly got married in 2022. In mid-2023, Olsen welcomed a baby boy named Otto. The birth was publicly revealed several months after the fact. The 2004 movie New York Minute was marketed as a step into the commercial mainstream for the twins, only their second ever theatrically released feature film, and the first after It Takes Two 9 years earlier. It marked a decided leveling up from child-targeted, direct-to-video and made-for-TV fare. However, it bombed at the box office, taking in just $14 million. Sadly, it was also the last time the sisters shared any screen time together.
We are so not in Kansas anymore.
Ashley became the first of the pair to walk away from acting. After New York Minute, she had cameos in 2008's The Jerk Theory and 2010's I'm Still Here. After telling OK Magazine, quote, "Never say never" in regards to a potential return to acting, she has made just one more narrative acting appearance. In 2022, she starred in an obscure short film called You and I. Despite Ashley shifting her professional career away from acting, Mary-Kate kept at it, landing small but significant roles in a string of high-profile independent features. She portrayed an unnamed art gallery patron in the Andy Warhol Circle biopic Factory Girl in 2006, before being cast against type as a rebellious drug-using teenager on the cable comedy Weeds. 8 episodes of that hit show represented Olsen's longest live-action TV stint since the 2000 to 2001 sitcom So Little Time, and she kept going with an appearance in the indie period piece The Whackness and on the sitcom Samantha Who. Following a supporting role in the 2011 young adult novel adaptation Beastly, Mary-Kate retired from acting and hasn't played a character on screen since.
Do you ever turn around and think, oh gosh, what would it like to not be Mary-Kate and Ashley and just be two regular girls?
All the time.
Despite all their accomplishments, Mary-Kate and Ashley will probably forever be best known for Full House. The twins alternated playing Michelle Tanner from 1987 to 1995 on the sitcom, about a widowed dad raising his 3 daughters with the help of his best friend and brother-in-law. From 2016 to 2020, Netflix produced a revival series, Fuller House, focused on elder Tanner siblings, DJ and Stephanie Tanner. Michelle was the only major character from the original Full House who never popped up for at least a cameo on the reboot. And so neither Olsen twin showed up either.
Where's my little sis?
Well, Michelle sends her love, but she's busy in New York running her fashion empire.
Co-star John Stamos, who portrayed Uncle Jesse on both iterations of Full House, blames himself, telling The Hollywood Reporter's Awards Chatter podcast, "We got a hold of their agent and asked them to do it. No. In retrospect, I should have called them and talked to them, I guess." But when he did eventually reach out personally, the Olsens said they never got an offer because they no longer employ acting agents. Stamos went on to say that Mary-Kate was at least interested in discussing it, but he added that the fact that neither had acted in a while affected their decision to sit out the revival. Full House ended its 8-season run in 1995 with a 2-part episode in which Michelle suffers amnesia after a horseback riding accident. In real life, both Olsens were avid equestrians by that time, with Mary-Kate turning the pursuit into a passion in adulthood. Olsen rode with her high school team but stopped upon a move to New York City in the 2000s. An owner as well as an athlete, Olsen's horse Marvelous won its events at the Hampton Classic Horse Show in Long Island, New York in 2013. Olsen got back into competing herself in the 2010s, riding in the Hampton Classic and the Palm Beach Masters in Florida. Olsen finished in 7th place at the 2018 Palm Beach Open, and in 2021 she placed 3rd in jumping events at the Global Champions Tour in Rome. If you or anyone you know needs help with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP-4357.